Hello to my Southern African Neolifd family. It's so exciting to be celebrating your success today, as well as our 50-year anniversary in Africa. I want to say congratulations, especially to our number ones, Judith, Mapita, Pasodi, and of course, Charlie and Alta. And congratulations to all of you who've been recognized today. I wish that I could be there in person to congratulate you. And I just really miss seeing you all face to face. So I cannot wait until I can come visit again for another one of our Neolifd family reunions. But I just want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this family. We're so grateful for you. And the truth is, we could not make a positive impact on the lives of individuals and families and nations without passionate people like you. We're just so blessed to be able to partner with you all to make the world a healthier and a happier place. So I was recently reading about a former US president. His name's Ronald Reagan. And I stumbled upon one of his favorite jokes. And so I told it to our North America convention, and I wanted to share it with you too. There was a child psychologist, and he was the father of twin boys. One of them was an optimist, and the other was a pessimist. And so just to see what would happen on Christmas Day, the father loaded the pessimist room with tons of toys and games, just as far as the eye could see. And in the optimist room, he dumped a pile of just this mountain of horse manure. And that night, the father, he went down to the pessimist room and he found him in his room crying. And he was surrounded by all these gifts. So his father asked him, "What's wrong? Like, why are you crying?" And the boy said, "Look at all these manuals I have to read. And now I have to buy all these batteries and all these toys. They're just eventually going to break." And he just kept on sobbing, boo-hoo. And so then the father passed by the optimist room. And what he found was he saw him just dancing for joy around this big old pile of horse manure. And so he asked his son, "Why are you so happy?" And the optimist shouted, "There's got to be a pony in here somewhere. There's got to be a pony in here somewhere." This really reminded me, I love this joke. It reminded me of when the pandemic hit, and it felt kind of like we were surrounded by horse manure, didn't it? I mean, everything was uncertain. People getting sick, losing jobs, borders closing, businesses closing. Not to say that there wasn't good things as well. I know one thing I was really thankful for was I got a puppy at the beginning of the pandemic. And then about a year later, I decided I needed to get a puppy for my puppy because she needed someone to play with. So they're best friends now. But I don't know if that is a trend over in Southern Africa as well, to be getting pets. It is here. But so back to last year, I remember going over to my parents' house, and I remember it very clearly that I was sitting down with my dad, the founder of the company, and just reflecting on how we were overwhelmingly filled with just a sense of peace and optimism. I mean, God is good. He's not going to give us more than we can handle. And this is not the first global crisis we've lived through as a company, and it certainly is not going to be the last. But what's incredible is that our Neolifd family has come out stronger every single time. Because even when it feels like we are just surrounded by horse manure, we're the ones saying, "There's got to be a pony in here somewhere." And now we've always operated the company in a way that is built to last. So we have a long-term view, we have a high amount of integrity, a lot of cash in the bank, and just an unshakable determination to make the world a better place for generations to come. And so I want to say thank you to the trailblazers that came before us, who have had that vision, who paved the way for all of us. And one thing I really love about Neolife events like this one, is that you get to see the longevity, those large distributor businesses that have stayed strong and thriving for decades and multiple generations, which is really unique in our industry, in any industry. And there are so many examples who are watching today, who are part of this convention today. You heard earlier from many of them, the 10, 20, 30, 40, 50-year stories. And we have huge organizations like the Bolton, McQuenas, McDermott's, Wilsonox, and so on. There's too many names to name them all, but they've been around for decades, still going strong, generating a solid income month after month, year after year. And I just love that, because we can create businesses that are not just for us, but they're for our children and their children. They're real legacies. And so what I want to talk about today is that I believe we are in such a special season that is just going to be a catalyst, a launching point for building legacies. And one of my favorite quotes for the season we're in is by a guy named Steve Schwartzman. He's a CEO of one of the largest private equity firms in the world. And he has this book called What It Takes. He says, listen to this. Success is about taking advantage of those rare moments of opportunity that you can't predict, but come to you, provided you're alert and open to major changes. So success is about taking advantage of those rare moments of opportunity that you can't predict, but come to you provided you're alert and open to major changes. So we could have never predicted what was coming, right? I mean, it has been crazy, but it has also been a rare moment of opportunity for sure. Our Neolife family is just the best. It's awesome. I can't thank you enough. From our distributor leaders to our corporate team, you've just really stepped up in incredible ways. And the results that we're seeing are so exciting. By the grace of God, we were just perfectly positioned for what happened. And we're perfectly positioned to continue to have that explosive growth, to continue to see more emeralds and world team and president's team and diamonds stepping up than ever. And the part that is really going to make a difference, though, I believe, is that we need to recognize the situation that we're in right now, the season that we are in. I mean, have you seen all those articles coming out, I think last month, about how the richest people in the world, they're getting even richer during the pandemic? There's been a lot of talk about this, at least here. And in fact, they're saying that the world's 10 richest billionaires have seen their wealth grow by $540 billion US dollars during the pandemic. And that's an average of $54 billion US dollars more each. Actually, you know what? I'm going to Google right now, 54 billion US dollars in Rand. So I have it for you. That is 809, is this right? $1 trillion Rand more per person. That is a lot. And do you know how they did it? It wasn't by accident or luck. And it's easy to say, well, you know, the rich always get richer. But the truth is, what they did was they recognized that when there is crisis, there is always opportunity. That's always true. When there is crisis, there is always opportunity. And they knew that while the majority of people were scared, just hunkering down, waiting till that storm passes, that there would be massive opportunities popping up. And so I like to call this that we're in the middle of a perfect storm. A perfect storm. I'm sure you've heard the term before. Maybe you've seen the movie. And usually it's like a really bad thing. It's where all these events take place and form this terrible storm that's so powerful and crazy. You're probably never going to see it again in your lifetime. But I'm going to use this incorrectly because I'm not using it as a negative. But this is a very positive, perfect storm, because it's a storm that is going to catalyze just explosive growth in our Neolife business. The perfect combination of rare circumstances that create incredible opportunity. I mean, let's just look at what happened. First, there was a shock. the pandemic hit. Everyone in the world had a wake-up call. They're like, I better start making healthy living a priority, or else I better start taking care of my health. And then we saw even major health authorities and experts around the world, they were actually recommending everyone take vitamins and supplements to protect their health. And an exciting one, they're recommending the very same supplement that we just launched earlier today. I'm so excited for all of you to try Vegan D. I just love that product, and it's so powerful. And the economy, if we look at what happened with the economy, that was hit hard. People losing their jobs, houses, income. And many of you, our distributor business partners around the world, you realized that Neolifd offers the perfect solution for the two biggest questions on everyone's mind. How do I protect my health? And how do I make more money? How do I start a side gig? And we don't treat or cure or prevent anything. We don't have miracle cures, but what we do offer is good nutrition. And that is powerful. For those of you who took action, who decided, I'm going to take advantage of this situation that's happening, it paid off. I was just looking at the numbers with my dad the other day that we see more people around the world making more money than ever in the Neolifd family. And that matters because we know that behind every dollar earned is a positive impact on someone's life. Income with an impact. And so I want to let you know what our company results have been. We announced that in 2020, we had double-digit growth globally. And that is actually continuing at an even faster pace in 2021. So far this year, we've seen a 26% increase in sales. And what's even more exciting is a 47% increase in new distributors, 47%. So that's really exciting for all of the businesses involved, because we always see that increase in new distributors leads to future growth. Every month, literally tens of thousands of new people are starting their own Neolifd businesses, tens of thousands of new people around the world every month saying yes to partnering with Neolifd, to say, I'm going to be in business for myself, but not by myself. And I'm going to join the cause to end the trend of poor health and poverty, one person at a time. And so if we look at both our distributors and the company are making more profit. And so I just want to give you a glimpse into what we're doing with that profit on the company side. I can tell you, first of all, we're not putting it in our pockets. What we're doing is we're investing back into the company. And it's primarily in a few key areas. So it's products, technology, and education. And one more, which I'll touch on as well. So number one, products that can revolutionize people's health. We're investing in that. I have to tell you, I get more new product samples in 1 week now than I used to get in an entire year. The product team is keeping me really busy, but we're ramping up our research and development and thinking outside the box, but still inside nature's blueprint or God's blueprint for our health and our bodies. Number two, leveraging technology. This is a big focus. As of June, we're on a single global platform for all of our markets, and it's really just a huge step forward. We're going to be able to integrate globally in new and exciting ways. We're constantly making improvements to those sites and apps on a weekly basis. And we're also going to keep investing heavily in developing ways to leverage technology to be a tool as you build your business to make it easier and faster. And then the third was educational resources, making those available to educate people on how to take control of their health and their finances. And now the other one I mentioned is where I'm so passionate about, this last one. And so as our sales have grown, so has our giving. And that is how it should be. Absolutely. And I could go on all day about this subject, but I just want to highlight the most recent partnership that I'm really excited about. There have been several this year of organizations that do really great work we've partnered with, but I'll tell you about the most recent one. So let's see, this couple months ago, we formed a corporate partnership with Compassion International. Compassion International. I don't know if you've heard of this organization, but they are awesome. We're featured now as one of their major corporate sponsors on their website. And you can go on the site and see our logo there. And they work through thousands of local churches around the world to just release children and their families from poverty. And so our first initiative with them was we funded the development of 2 new survival programs for mommies and babies. And I was excited also to tell you about this because they're in kind of your neck of the woods. One of them is in Kenya and one is in Uganda. And what we're doing is we're providing the funds for the buildings, the infrastructure, the staffing to launch these mommy and baby programs, as well as the operating expenses for the entire first year for all the new mommies and babies coming into the program. And so what they get is prenatal care, so care before they give birth, hospitalization during birth, and medical care for the entire first year of the baby's life. And the reason that's significant is that like our first birthday, that's a really big deal in communities that are in poverty. And so we're really excited about that. We're also going to be working on some really cool other projects with Compassion International. So I can't wait to tell you more soon. But earlier I mentioned we're in the middle of a perfect storm. And I said middle for a reason. We are starting to see signs of recovery, and maybe like very baby ones because we keep seeing them and then we go back, and then we see them and we go back. So there is a long road ahead to be sure, but things are getting better and they're going to get better. And what I want to mention is that it would be a huge mistake, a huge, enormous mistake to think that the opportunity has already passed us, to think that, oh, well, there was a window, this little window in time where I could have really been successful, and now it's passed. Mistake. Because anyone who has studied what happens during the recovery period of an economic crisis, they know that this is the best part. The recovery is the best part. And time again, throughout history, when there's a crisis, the economy contracts, people are scared. What happens is they save as much money as they can. They're waiting for that storm to pass. And what always happens is as they see things getting better, people are going to be less scared. They're going to start coming out of their shell. They're going to start spending the savings that they had, the extra money, the new money that's coming in as they get jobs. And the economy is just going to be stimulated like crazy. And in the end, the ones who come out ahead are the people who were brave enough to take action, who knew that things were going to get better, who knew that they had something that could truly make a difference in people's lives and how they weathered this storm, whether it was going to be an ugly, perfect storm, the negative side of things, or it's going to be an amazing, perfect storm for business growth and personal development and just forming an awesome community of people around you who are there for you, to support you, who love you. And they're the ones who are going to come out stronger and ahead of the pack. They're the ones who we're going to be talking about that they're making more money than other people during the pandemic. Now is the time to build your foundation. So as this perfect storm passes, maybe you'll even add a second story to your house if you build that strong, solid foundation now. And what's also important is that as people start spending their money, as consumers start getting back, stimulating the economy, they're going to be cautious, more cautious about where they're spending it. They're going to make sure that what they're buying truly delivers value. And so now it's our job to show them that value, to teach them that they have the power, that they themselves have the power to improve their health and their wealth. And we heard stories today that were just incredible. People have had transformations inside and out. And the reason that was possible is because somebody cared enough to share with them. And they didn't give up. Even when they said no, even when we said no, I said no at the beginning, they didn't give up because they've seen it and felt it and believe it with all their heart that in this family, we can live happier and healthier lives. We don't just sell products, we sell hope and community and a chance to take control of our lives. and people need what we have to offer more than ever. The power that we have as individuals is extraordinary. And the world's biggest problems become the world's biggest business opportunities. The world's biggest problems become the world's biggest business opportunities. And this is a season of opportunity. It doesn't take a grand gesture to make a difference in someone's life. It just takes the courage to reach out to them, just to love on them, to show them what we have to offer, and the decision is up to them. But I believe there are people in this room who are watching today who are going to build businesses that are just bigger than the entire Neolifd African company as it stands today, bigger than the entire Neolifd Africa. And that's if you want to and you decide to go for it. That's what Charlie and Alta Bolton did. I know most of you know their story. But when they joined, that was their goal. Charlie was working for the company, and at that time, and he quit because he and Alta saw just how big that distributor opportunity was and is. Drew and Brandon, please plug your ears. And AJ, I don't want you to get any ideas, but funny enough, when Charlie quit and he joined as a distributor, it was also during the OPEC oil price shock of 1973, which is at that time the world's worst market crash since the Great Depression. And you know what? They did it. They rode that perfect storm, that wave. They worked hard. They loved on people, invested back into their business, and they built the biggest distributor business in the entire world, and bigger than the Neolifd African company was at that time. And that's also what our Five Diamonds, Joaquin and Deanna, did in Mexico, and Vitalia and Algis in Lithuania, and Five Diamond Afis Tijani in Nigeria. So I want to ask you, why not you? Why not you? Because together we are going to be the single biggest force behind ending the trend of poor health and poverty, one person at a time. Thank you so much for being a part of this family, a part of this event. God bless you all. And can't wait till I get to see you again next time.